No.
That's a good thing.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Committee of Adjustment meeting for the Township of Georgian Bay for Friday, November 7, 2025. I call this meeting to order at 10 a.m. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we are working on the lands traditionally occupied by Indigenous peoples. Indigenous people continue to care for this land and continue to shape our township. We show our respect and will continually honor the treaties that are signed as we consider our decisions and actions. I would ask all members, either present or online, if there are any declarations of pecuniary interest or conflict of interest. Okay, seeing none, you would have all had the opportunity to review the meeting minutes from October 10th. I have a resolution moved by Member Graziano and seconded by Member Schmidt. Be it resolved that the Township of Georgian Bay Committee of Adjustment approves the minutes of October 10, 2025. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you. The motion is carried. This morning, there is a public meeting scheduled for one minor variance application. If you wish to be notified of the decision of the application on this agenda this morning, please add your contact name, contact information to the sign-in sheet at the back of the council chambers, or you can do so online. I'll briefly summarize the procedure to be utilized for the meeting. First, the clerk will advise the committee as to when, how, and to whom notice of each of the hearings was circulated for the applications being considered. Next, each of the applications will be considered separately. Planning staff will advise of the purpose and effect of the application and provide any information that's relevant. The clerk will summarize any correspondence on file, and from there the applicant may make a brief presentation if they so choose. And the public will have an opportunity to speak to the applications being considered. After the public forum, the committee will then deliberate on the proposed applications and consider a motion to pass, defeat, or defer the decision of the applications. Minor variance application being considered this morning is A25-44 for 1914 Island 360, 6 Mile Lake. To the clerk, please.
Notice of each of the applications was sent by first-class mail to the respective owners and assessed persons within 120 meters, 500 meters, or 800 meters, and to those persons and agencies likely to have an interest in the application. The notices were sent at least 20 days prior to this morning's meeting. Included in each notice was an explanation of the purpose and effect of the application and a key map showing the location of the property. Other relevant information may have also been provided. These circulations were provided in accordance with provisions of the Planning Act 1990.
Thank you. As mentioned, our first minor and only minor variance this morning is A25-44. To the planner, please.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. The subject property has a frontage of 59.06 meters onto 6 Mile Lake and is water access only. The property has an area of 1.09 acres and is currently developed with a detached dwelling, a dryland boathouse, and a dock. The remainder of the property is maintained in its natural state, having dense vegetation, with cleared areas being limited to the building envelopes and the shoreline activity area of 100 square meters. The purpose and effect of this application is to seek relief from the zoning bylaw to facilitate an expansion to an existing legal non-compliant dwelling and deck, and the construction of a new dock and sleeping cabin. The specifics of the minor variance application are displayed on screen as follows. For the expansion of the existing legal non-complying deck attached to the dwelling, a minimum front yard setback of 6.97 meters, whereas maintaining the existing front yard setback of 9.23 meters is permitted. For the expansion of the existing legal non-complying dwelling, a gross floor area increase of 114.15% of the existing gross floor area, whereas a maximum gross floor area increase of 40% of the existing gross floor area is permitted. A width increase of 98.78% of the existing width, whereas a maximum width increase of 30% of the existing width is permitted. a front yard setback of 11.16 meters, whereas maintaining the existing front yard setback of 13.34 meters is permitted, and a width increase of 29.22 meters, pardon, that's a total width of 29.22 meters, whereas a maximum dwelling width of 14.77 meters is permitted in accordance with this lot size in the SR6 zone. The construction for the new dock, a projection of 13.7 meters, whereas a maximum projection of 10 meters is permitted. And for the total development as a whole, a lot coverage of 11.1%, whereas a maximum lot coverage of 8% is permitted. The proposed expansion will be occurring on both the north and south sides of the existing dwelling, maintaining the existing single-story roof line. The development proposal as a whole will not result in the loss of significant vegetation in the natural state shoreline area, preserving the visual screening from the water. The applicant has confirmed that the proposed dwelling expansion will result in the loss of 2 mature trees only, while the dense vegetation surrounding the dwelling footprint is intended to be maintained. The proposed gross floor area will be compliant with the 6 Mile Lake dwelling size provision. The proposed sleeping cabin will meet all applicable size provisions of the zoning bylaw, given its proposed position to the rear of the existing dryland boathouse, set back 20 meters from the shoreline behind mature vegetation. It is assumed to be not visible from the water whatsoever. The sleeping cabin will also be constructed in an existing natural clearing. The applicant has confirmed that only 1 mature tree will need to be removed within the building envelope of the cabin. The proposed increased dock projection is for the purpose of achieving adequate water depth for the docking of watercraft. As shown on the overhead imagery, a large rock shield extends from the shoreline. Extending the projection 3.7 meters beyond the permitted 10-meter maximum will allow for adequate water depth, providing ease of safe access to this water access-only property. The applicant intends to maintain the existing shoreline activity area and continue to access the property from this point. Moving the dock to an alternative position would require clearing of further natural state shoreline area. The committee can either deny or approve any of the variances being requested. The committee may also defer the application to a later date if additional information is required to come to a decision. Planning staff have completed a detailed analysis of the proposed variances and are recommending approval subject to conditions. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, has there been any correspondence on this application?
One letter was received from Kelly Nicholson, Chief Building Official, indicating that building permits will be required. A septic review must be completed, and a minimum setback of 5 meters from all structures and hydro lines must be maintained.
Thank you. Is the applicant online? And if they are, do they wish to add anything to the comments of the planner so far?
Mr. Orchard is joining the webinar.
Okay.
Sorry, I just got kicked off there.
Okay.
Not sure what's going on with my camera. Is it okay to speak now?
Yes, we're talking to your chair.
I don't know what's going on. It's funny. My camera must not be working properly. Hold on. Oh, I know why.
We can see your hand, maybe some hand gestures.
Sorry, 1 second. It should work now. Hold on. Off to a flying start. That better?
Okay, there we go. Good
Sorry
morning.
about that. Morning. Thanks for having me. I'll just say something, I guess, a couple brief words. Andrew, thanks for helping me out with the application. Appreciated working with you. It was a good experience and learned lots about Township of Georgian Bay through the process. I think the only thing really we want to chat about is, we tried to keep the building, maintained with its current look and feel. We're trying to really maintain a lot of the shoreline area and limit how much vegetation is removed. We really like that, and we want to keep within that. So the proposed addition to the north of the property is there, so we don't have to blast to attach to the main existing cottage. We really wanted to keep the old cottage. It's kind of neat and kind of produce some new buildings that had the same look and feel of the original dwelling. And that's about it. Trying to really keep it as, I guess, natural as possible there.
Okay, thank you very much. If you hang on, we'll see if there are any questions coming your way. Is there any member of the public available online that has questions for either the applicant or the committee on this application?
Mr. Kidd is present.
Okay, Mr. Kidd, if you're there, please join the meeting and give us any questions you may have.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh,
And
hi. No,
uh, you are live. We can see your name, but not your face.
okay, yeah, I'm at work right now. I just wanted to hear what was going on because we never heard anything about it really. Yeah, we were just kind of concerned about how far over it was coming and where the septic's going in the back, it's pretty wet, so I'm not sure what's going on back there. It just seemed to kind of come at us pretty quick. We never heard anything about this.
Okay, did you find out enough from listening to the presentation of our planner, or do you have
Yeah,
a
no, that helped. That's what I was wanting to hear more about, right? So we wanted to see how big this place was going to be. It's like most of the cottages are pretty normal size on that side of the lake. There's no mansions there yet, so we just wanted to know what was going on.
Okay, and so we have no questions then for the applicant or the planning department?
Nope, not really. Nope, just watching and learning what's going on.
Okay, no problem.
Mr. Kidd, apologies. Can you confirm your first name?
My name's Timothy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, then if there are no further questions or concerns from the public, I'll close the public portion of the meeting and bring the application before the committee for any questions or concern. And because we have most people online, I will respond to any hands that I see. And we will begin with Member Schmidt.
Thank you, Chair Hill. I will say when I initially saw the application, I was on paper, it looks pretty significant, to the point where I put a boat in the water there yesterday and went over and had a look at the subject property. The cottage that's there now, it's sort of the classic example of a very modest dwelling that's there. So the multipliers adding on to it snowball pretty quickly. Extremely well screened. Just sharing this with anybody that didn't have the opportunity to be at the property. Very well screened from the lake. The bunkie is going to be located down behind the existing dryland boathouse, which will be not visible at all from the water. A bit of the square footage that was added here falls under that same category as the previous application that we had with the breezeway attachment. So they had to add some width and girth for it to be attached. And from what I could see, there might be 2 trees that have to be taken down of any significance to accomplish these additions. So just wanted to hopefully give a bit of peace of mind that this is significantly better than what it looks like on paper based on the numbers. So just wanted to share those comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? I see the hand up from Member Graziano. Please go ahead.
Sorry, and through you, Chair, I'm wondering if the other members who came before my hand would prefer to speak first. I can't imagine anyone. I did see Member Matthews, Member Jarvis, and Member Predko. If everyone's okay with me speaking before them, then I'll endeavor to proceed. Excellent. Similar to Member Schmidt, I also have, fortunately, my pontoon still left in the water on 6 Mile Lake and endeavor to take a look at the property. I echo his comments. I do want to say to the applicant that we do appreciate, or at least I do appreciate, the fact that he's endeavored to develop something or proposing to develop something that does not require blasting. It's beneficial that he tries to retain as much of the topography as possible without scarring it indefinitely. And the other comment that I wanted to make is, knowing what I've seen with respect to the shallow waters, I can appreciate the dock's projection and the request going out as well. I also have an issue, and I understand that there's Muskoka rock there. I did witness that myself. But you know, had there not been dredging is not something that I also tend to favor. So with that said, I do support this. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Predko, please.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. Yeah, I would say the same kind of comments about on paper. It is looking like an overwhelming amount of development on the property, but realizing that the existing dwelling is a small, modest cottage, the expansion is bringing it into something that's more in keeping with what is commonly found on our lakes. The one issue that I wanted to raise was actually the blasting that Councillor or Member Graziano just mentioned as well. It looks like, and perhaps somebody who was able to get to a site visit, or the owner or the planner, can confirm that the addition that will become the primary bedroom won't require blasting. That the photos of the north expansion, the rock outcropping looks significantly higher than the cottage, and the elevation drawings show it being level without any kind of inclined steps inside. So are you able just to confirm that no blasting would be required, because this probably is within the 20-meter setback and would require an application to council?
Sorry, do you want me to go, Steve? I don't.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, no blasting required there. I think if you look on the site plans or the preliminary drawings, there's at least 2 or 3 steps up into that new part that's going to be the master bedroom. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why we configured it that way, because the existing cottage is pinned right against that rock outcrop that elevates there. So the plan was to keep all that and move up. We really don't want to blast and do all that type of stuff. And I believe I can look at the site plan. That dwelling is at least 20 meters back, which should meet the. I don't think we're seeking any relief for getting closer to the lake on that portion of the building either. It's just the south portion.
Okay. And just going by the side elevation photos, it looks like it's level, but if there are steps up.
Yeah, I think the skirt just goes down like on the drawing. I think the actual floor plan drawings might be in the package as well. There should be a couple steps up there at least to get onto that rock outcrop.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if Andrew has any other comments on that. The drawings of the floor plan show the steps going down to the master bedroom, but I wouldn't. I'm fine if you guys have assurance that you've examined this and we're not likely to have blasting application come back.
Yeah, definitely no blasting application will come.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Member Predko. Member Jarvis, you had a question?
Yeah, a couple questions quickly, and the question I've asked before in other applications. Andrew, if this was a new build with nothing there to begin with, what would be the square footage allowed on this property? It'd be 8%, right? 8% coverage?
Yeah, through the chair, that's correct. It's 8% coverage, although this is a SR6 zone property. So the permitted gross floor area, and it's calculated as 5% of the total lot area, would be 220.26 square meters, whereas the proposed is 212.3 square meters.
So what's being proposed is within that 5% then, is that what you're saying? I appreciate that. Thank you. I think, yeah, you answered my questions on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Jarvis. Member Matthews.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I too can appreciate the need for longer docks, as sitting here at the cottage and with the south wind and the water's gone down about another 3 feet. So you're not as affected as we are on Georgian Bay, but it can be quite a challenge. I just want to clarify in my own mind, Andrew, the rebuild of the boathouse and the bunkie are not part of the variance. Is that correct?
Through the chair, the boathouse is not being rebuilt. It's existing and being maintained. The
Oh.
bunkie is a new build, and the only part of the variance that's included with that bunkie would be the increase in lot coverage. The sleeping cabin will contribute to lot coverage.
Right. And if the sleeping cabin wasn't there, would they be within the 8% lot coverage?
I don't have that exact calculation rate in front of me. I have the size of the sleeping cabin, but I would have to do a calculation as to where they would stand with that. I'm not positive.
Probably be close though, right? Okay. It's not a deal breaker for me, but I just wanted to make that comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Member Matthews. Are there any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I will read the resolution. It is moved by Member Smith, seconded by Member Jarvis. Be it resolved that the Township of Georgian Bay Committee of Adjustment approves minor variance application A25-44 to zoning bylaw 2014-75 as amended for 1914 Island 360 6 Mile Lake to facilitate the expansion of an existing legal non-compliant dwelling and the construction of a new dock and sleeping cabin as described below. A decrease in the front yard setback for an attached deck of 6.97 meters, whereas minimum front yard setback is 9.23 meters. An increase in the dwelling gross floor area of 114.15%, whereas an increase of 40% is permitted. An increase in dwelling width of 98.78%, whereas an increase of 30% is permitted. A decrease in front yard setback of 11.16 meters for a dwelling, whereas a minimum front yard setback of 13.34 meters is permitted. Number 5, an increase in dwelling width to a total width of 29.22 meters, whereas a maximum dwelling width of 14.77 meters is permitted. Number 6, an increase in lot coverage to 11.1%, whereas a maximum lot coverage of 8% is permitted. And number 7, an increase in dock projection to 13.7 meters, whereas a maximum dock projection of 10 meters is permitted. The above noted approvals are subject to the following conditions. 1, that the owner provide a property tax certificate or correspondence from Township Financial Services indicating that all property taxes have been paid up to date with respect to the property that is subject to this decision. 2, that an Ontario land surveyor, professional engineer, or certified engineering technologist verify by pinning the foundation wall and verifying in writing or by way of survey or real property report prior to pouring of the footing, and if no footing, the foundation, that the dwelling is no closer than 11.16 meters and the deck is no closer than 6.97 meters from the average high water level for 6 Mile Lake. And 3, that the proposed dwelling, dock, and sleeping cabin be substantially and proportionately in conformity with the dimensions as set out in the application and sketches submitted and approved by the committee. And 4, that the owner apply for and obtain site plan approval from the Township of Georgian Bay, including, if required, the execution and registration of a site plan agreement against the title of the lands. And 5, that the appropriate zoning certificate and building permit be obtained within 3 years from the date of the decision from the township only after the committee's decision becomes final and binding. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you. The motion is carried and the application is approved. I'd like to thank everyone for their participation in today's public hearings. I have a final resolution that is moved by Member Predko, seconded by Member Matthews. Be it resolved that the Township of Georgian Bay Committee of Adjustment does now adjourn at 10:24 a.m. until December 5, 2025 at 10 a.m. or at the call of the chair. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you. The motion is carried and the meeting is adjourned.
Thanks for the donuts, Tony.
Thank you.
Everybody have